Yo, I'm Jay Beershank. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're here today for another edition of Journal Talks. It's been a little while and I thought maybe I'll stop that series, but then you know what, I saw we did 9 episodes, so I said, hey, let's make it 10, because, you know, it's a good number, makes you feel better, makes you feel more completed. But after the 10th episode, I think I'm going to wait until I can make some different kind of videos, because you know, it doesn't really stretch my creativity that far. The reason why I started doing these instead of other videos is because I broke my computer. It was inside my backpack and I was moving from place to place, and the stand that my camera's on, it's like it's a tripod, and there's a little lever that sticks out on it so I can twist and adjust the angle of the camera here, and that part smashed into my computer and broke it. So I can't take clips and put them together, so I can't make like the kind of videos I was making, like the vlogs, even though I really enjoyed that. I really did. But I went to see how much that'll cost to get it fixed. It was around $400, and I don't have $400. So I decided we can find ways to make videos that are stationary clips like this. So brings us to Journal Talks, episode 10. Today, what are we going to talk about? Well, let's find out. In this series, we go in my journal, I flip to a page, and we talk about it. Why? Who knows? Okay. This is on March 3rd. The name of the entry is Welcome to the Jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. This is actually a song, I remember this actually. I was listening to this on Kota Kiev, the island I've talked about a lot on this entry. It's in Cambodia, and there was a guy playing on the sound system, because in the bar area there was always super loud music playing. But today there was this guy playing. His name was like a joke music man, like a meme kind of. His name was Dick Cheese, and he takes songs and he remixes them, and he just kind of makes them like funny and yeah, I don't know, interesting. But this particular song, like, welcome to the jungle, watch it bring you to your knees. And I remember I was like really thinking about that as like resonating deeply at this time, because I had just gotten back from being off the island for the first time in 2 months. I spent a week off the island with a woman, and I remember when I came back I was just all mixed up in my emotions and the huge sea of potential of what could be, and I was just so lost in my emotions and my heart. So when the song was like Welcome to the Jungle, I like thought of the jungle as like my emotions, and I was like, yeah, fucking, I resonate so much. And I was just kind of groveling in this idea. So let's see what I had to say about it. It starts, I don't know what's happening with my motives or what's prompting my thoughts. I was thinking this because I anticipated to stay on the island for another month to volunteer, and I had made commitments to do that. But I was already like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. And I felt really phony. But I didn't understand why. And then I said, I mean, I guess I know going to Australia. Going to Australia was an idea that I was messing up with my motives, I guess. I think I overwhelm myself, but I'm overwhelmed. I meant to say not overwhelmed. I feel childish at being at the whim of my emotions. Oh, okay. So after I spent a week with this woman, she was gonna go to Australia, and I told her I'd go with her. And you know, like when you're in a fit of passion, when you're just kind of like in the moment, in the heat of the moment, and so happy and just feeling blissful, you just agree to things. And like for me, like I'm the kind of guy, if I keep the ball rolling, like if I just keep on going and going and going, it's all good. But if I keep the ball rolling and then the ball like stops rolling for a little bit, and like I'm expected to go kick the ball again like another hour, and that hour I'm like, fuck, do I really want to kick the ball again? So that's what I was thinking about here. I was like, oh fuck, I said this, but like, do I really want to? And then I just started thinking about every angle of like why I might not want to. And yeah, I didn't like being at the whim of my passion and my emotions and my feelings for this woman, and the feelings of just like being with a woman, and the feelings of like having a partner and having like a travel buddy and having like a new plan with a new country and a big step out of Asia. And like I was obsessed with all these different ideas, but I didn't like being at the whim of them because it just seemed so silly to just be like doing these things. But yeah, I feel childish being at the whim of 1 week and one decision. I suppose I'm just disgustingly naive mixed with dangerously sensualistic. Yeah, so just disgustingly naive. I was saying like, just like, yeah, this woman came into my life. It was the first woman to really come into my life seriously, and I was being naive because I was just like, oh, totally about her, totally love her, totally gonna go to Australia, totally gonna do all this stuff after only like knowing her for a week, which is not that crazy, but it was just like naive because I was just like then questioning myself about it and whatever. It's like one thing to make a decision and then to just be, you know, content with that decision and to just enjoy your life as it comes. It's another thing to make a big decision and then be quivering about it in the back, you know, behind the curtains. To be quivering about your scene is a naive thing to do, I thought. And dangerously sensualistic because like I just love the idea of like also like this whisking away of like the woman and the idea of just flying away to the new country to be with the woman. It just had like this sensualistic dirty pleasure that I just loved. It was just like such like a romanticized idyllic little adventure that I felt like I was gonna embark upon. I was like, oh, it's so perfect, sensualistically, you know, just perfect, because I was just, you know, sensualistically going about that, very much so. I think too seriously about Anya. Anya is the name of this woman. I think too seriously about Anya. But why do I think that? Because I'm worried of letting her in close and getting hurt? Or because I can't tell the difference between loving her and loving a partner? Oh yeah, so think too seriously about her. Yeah, I think like, you know, taking it too seriously, like the whole thing, like life can just be a sequence of these events that have no classification or put on them. You know, they don't have to be good or bad, they're just experiences, and each experience will add to your character and your history and who you are, right? It doesn't have to be good or bad, it's just part of the growing process of life, right? So I was thinking like, why am I taking this so seriously? Like whether going to Australia with her ends up being a complete catastrophe or whether it ends up being an amazing experience, it doesn't fucking matter as long as I just don't quiver behind the curtains of my decisions and I just embark upon being the best character I can on the stage of life, right? When the stage calls upon me to be a character. So I was like, oh, why am I thinking so seriously about this? But then I started to think, oh, maybe it's because I'm scared of getting hurt, and so I'm trying to reject my feelings and reject the reality so then I can just abandon the responsibility of having to even go on this adventure anyway, and I can just stick by myself and do my little independent thing that I've been doing. So yeah, I was really thinking about this a lot. I was really fucked in my head when I got back from this week I spent with her because I was just, yeah, just so new, you know, to like have the emotions, because like I've had emotions, but they weren't like so tied to other people. They were just like my personal spiritual experiences, and like that was, you know, those mixed in with my emotions became like just kind of nice and easy to calibrate and align myself and orientate into my experience and into my life. But since they involved another person, it put so much pressure on me, and I felt like such a different kind of feeling than I had before. And I can't tell the difference between loving her and loving a partner. That's a big thing that I still think about. Like, yeah, I don't know if I, you know, loved her or loved just the idea of having a partner and having a travel person and having someone care about what I was doing and having someone want to talk about things and just like, you know, having someone in your life, because that's a big thing. It's like, I'm a solo dude. I love being, you know, I find complete solitude in being by myself, and I love being by myself because there's so many goddamn people in the world that I never really feel alone, right? I just go out and I interact with people all the time. But it's, you know, it's a really tantalizing thing to also then have a partner through life. So this is the first time that I spent like a week, but a good amount of time with someone who was like with me the whole entire time. And that was like, you know, going through the ups and downs and the days and nights and the joys and the sorrows and everything, you know, just having someone there. So I didn't know if I just liked that or if I liked this particular woman, and I was struggling with that, and I still struggle with that. not with her particularly, but just with anybody that I meet. It's like, you know, do I like this person or do I just like having friends? And another thing goes back to like not fucking worrying about that stuff, because it doesn't matter. You just gotta enjoy yourself. But I do only care because others warn me of these things. Haha, guess I'm being a brazen kid now. Haha. That's what I said here twice. Haha. Yeah, so I was wondering if maybe all of this stuff was just projected onto me, because I was talking to a lot of my friends in Cambodia and they were like, dude, you're fucking nuts about chasing after this chick. You should just like, you know, sit and think about it a little bit. And then I was like, oh, am I only really thinking this because they're projecting these ideas onto me? But nah. But yeah, then I was thinking, you know, maybe all of this is just me being a brazen kid and just, you know, being naive and being sensualistic and brazen and, you know, unnecessarily neurotic. Anyway, I'm going to meet Anya in a few days. Is it a mistake, question mark? If you enjoy something, can it be a mistake, question mark? Slippery fucking slow, bud. Maybe that's what it's all about. I guess I'm just silly. Because who gives a hoot? It's not so serious. It's just life. So, yeah, that was a great ending for that. You know, after all this kind of neuroticism and everything. I love reading my journals because it honestly is so funny. I feel like if you're actually someone who has gone through and watched some of these journal series, because I really don't know how appealing it actually is, because I don't even like to listen to myself this much. So if you've actually listened to all these journal series, or at least one full one, it's so funny to just kind of hear like the back and forth of my mind, and like always trying to end on this positive note that it's just like, it's better to be buoyant, you know? And I recently read the Tao, the teaching, or the Tao Ching or whatever. And I had, you know, I've heard of the Tao a million times, but I'd never really read the book. And yeah, it's just such a great realignment tool. So go check out that and read about the Tao, because I mean, like, it's such a fundamental truth, I think, and it's just about, you know, and that's something I was thinking about a lot, like disconnecting from my emotions, because this girl Anya, she tells me, you're so disconnected from your emotions, you sound like just all these spiritual books about, you know, disconnecting from any kind of pleasures and disconnecting from any kind of sorrows. And I was like, yeah, I guess I am, and I wondered if that was wrong. But then reading the Tao, it really aligned me back to like, no, it's not wrong. It's like, you know, the way to be fully alive is to be fully present. And to be fully present, you can't have yourself stretched out. You know, you gotta be here right now. So if you want things, you're not here right now. If you regret things, you're not here right now. But you know, yeah. Anyway, if you're quivering behind the curtains of the stage when it's your time to go out and perform your character for that particular situation in that particular scene, you're not gonna have a good time. So don't quiver behind the curtains. Be ready, go out and shine, and enjoy yourself, and realize that it doesn't really matter your performance, because it's more about just going out and giving it your best. That's all I gotta say. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.